The St. Joseph Sports Network is on the air. Today's broadcast of Hawk Talk is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Caring is in all of us. Blankenau Medical Center, the best place to rebound from an injury or illness. Rothman Orthopedics, for orthopedic excellence. Think Rothman first. And J.D. McGillicuddy's, a perfect place to unwind after a long day. And your home of the St. Joseph's Athletics Radio Show. Come in today and let our friendly staff welcome you in and treat you as one of our own. Now, let's go inside J.D. McGillicuddy's and join our host, Joe Lunardi.
Greetings all Hawks near and far. It is a star-studded packed house tonight at J.D. McGillicuddy's, 33 Brookline Boulevard in beautiful downtown Havertown. Joe Lunardi, and we will introduce our star-studded guests in a bit. Matt Martucci spinning the dials and getting us on the air, and however you're following on TuneIn or SJUHawks.com or on some kind of app that I can't even pronounce. This is the show formerly known as Hawk Talk. But now that Bill Self has incorporated that and it airs live on ESPN Plus at some school in the Midwest that we will not mention, we're going to call this the Hawk Athletics Show, as it should be, and turn the page to a new era. 3 great shows highlighting our fall sports. But now it's cold, which means it's basketball season. And this weekend, both of our basketball teams face one of their longest rivals in the Villanova Wildcats. We've got Cindy Griffin, head coach of the St. Joseph's women's team. We've got Billy Lang, head coach of the St. Joseph's men's team. And before we get into the seasons and the rivalries and who's up and who's down and what are the X's and O's, the both of you have made this vaunted journey to the platform at J.D. McGillicuddy's. And in all of your accomplishments, Cindy, to you,
listen to me.
How does it feel?
Listen, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy getting down here, Joe.
Let me tell you.
I had to be a little flexible.
It's up, and then you could turn an ankle.
Yeah, totally.
And it better you than one of the players.
Correct. Yes, yes.
And I'm sure Billy would feel the same way. And Billy, not everybody has gotten this kind of status.
Yeah.
And in their first year, no less.
Yeah.
I mean, this probably reminds you a lot of the NBA.
Well, truth be told, I used to live in Havertown, so I'd have a slice of Chenzo's Pizza and walk and hang down there, and that's a lot of fun down there. So it's pretty. But I'd look up here.
Well, there's a door now. You can go straight over there.
I know. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you don't eat pepperoni anymore.
Depends.
You don't eat anything good anymore.
Depends.
You're like the healthiest guy I know.
You wouldn't have said that at about 11:15 after the Lafayette game.
Well, I was going to say, if ever a squad might challenge the coaches of dietary restrictions.
This is a blessing to coach these guys. These guys are great.
All right, let's talk a little basketball first with Cindy. 4-4, pretty challenging schedule to date.
Yep.
Split in the Hawk Classic over the weekend. Losing the second game to Drexel, which I'm sure you'd like to have back. But you've had some terrific individual performances for a very young squad. What's kind of the top-level view of your Hawks at this point?
Yeah, I think, again, we're very pleased to be 4-4. Of course, you always want more as a head coach. But I think, for our team, we are young, but we certainly have some experienced players who are playing very, very well right now. One of them will be with us tonight, Katie Jacott, and I believe Mary Sheehan's in the house tonight. So with those 2 players being our leaders, they're bringing the kids along really, really well, the younger kids, and really just putting forth that leadership and the effort that we need every day.
And you lost a lot, not just in terms of numbers, but in terms of leadership. Alyssa Monahan, a 4-year starter, Delco kid. You still got some of those, thankfully. But, integrating, not turning over the roster, but a lot of players playing minutes that they haven't played before. What is the challenge of that. And obviously, the standards don't change. You're trying to win a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest vacancy was the point guard position. So Alyssa, as you said, played that position for us for 4 years. So she was the leader, she was the captain on the court, and filling that spot is quite hard. Lula's doing a great job. Katie Jaycott's been playing side by side with her, and we're kind of doing it by committee until Lula gets a little bit more comfortable. So, considering that big role to fill, I think they're doing a great job of doing that. And we'll continue to look at different people at that spot because different defenses warrant some different things. And the more experience we get, the better we're getting.
Now, it apparently will be, and I'll believe it when I see it, but apparently this will be your last time coaching against Harry Perretta and Villanova.
Yeah.
And as somebody, who I see riding through the neighborhood, on his bike and going to church and with a helmet, like I said, I'll believe it when he's not there next year. But thoughts on that relationship and how good it would feel to maybe remind him that the Hawk will never die.
Wouldn't that be great? You know what, Harry, I remember him coming into my living room, recruiting me as a student athlete. And, it's hard to believe that now that I've been coaching against him and now he's retiring. So I still actually don't believe it. I'm with you. I think that somehow, some way he'll be on that bench. But certainly a great coach. And he's done a lot for our game. And but certainly would like to send him off with a Hawk goodbye.
All right, well, stay put. We're going to do 2 of these segments, so we'll come back. But, Billy, when did you live in Havertown?
2001 till 2004.
When you were at Villanova?
When I was at that other school.
Got it. Oh, you're allowed to say it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. You said it first.
But I'm going to put you on the spot.
Right.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Currently, the longest losing streak in St. Joseph's history,
right.
Men's basketball,
right.
against Villanova, 7 games.
Right.
I'm sure the Hawk faithful would like to hear you say that will change someday.
Right.
Maybe Saturday, maybe some other day.
Right.
But as a coach, you have to think about a whole lot more than one game, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's our job is to. But it is one game at a time. So this is the next one, and I was explaining to gentleman from the Inquirer today. I mean, one of the things that is such a privilege, an honor, and a blessing to be the head coach of St. Joseph's University is to coach in the Big Five. And then have an opportunity to play in a rivalry that is historic and national, and it's recognized in the Holy War in Villanova. So for a kid that grew up going to those games in the Palestra and seeing them on campus in Hagan Arena, some participating in some of them, a few that I care to forget, but I want that result now, right?
Yes.
This is really a blessing, really.
Billy, you get it because you grew up with it.
Right.
Do the players today get it?
Well, I mean, I think so. And
they get that it's a big-name team and a ranked team.
If you're, let's say if you're Sharif Knox or Ramir Moore or Ryan Daly, you grow up in this area, so it's in around you. Now, does Lorenzo Edwards from Chicago get it right away? I don't think he does. I remember when thank you. Great assistant. Great job. I remember being in other Big Five games with guys that weren't from Philadelphia at other places that I've coached, and they got it. You get it quickly. But you can educate them all you want on it until you're actually in it and you feel the venom of the other team. I don't know how you can really prepare for it. But we will do that job educating them on it.
So how much of the preparation is kind of getting ready for what will no doubt be an emotional setting?
Right.
And as loud and energetic as we've had to date, versus the simple fact of X's and O's and playing against a great team with great players and, a fairly accomplished coach in his own right in Jay Wright.
Well, it's probably both. I mean, you have to prepare them for the environment, which some of our guys have played in environments like that, and some of them haven't. It doesn't matter how much we talk about it. You just have to go be in it, and then you can understand what it is. So there's a learning curve there that, you can prepare about it and you can talk about it, but you actually have to live it. So what you do is you focus on what you can control, and what you can control are some of the strategic things and the tactical things that you can do to give yourself the best competitive advantage possible.
Billy, when you think back growing up, Palestra, Big Five, Philadelphia basketball, do you have a memory? Does it involve this rivalry, these teams?
Oh, for sure. Because, I mean, you know, my brother was a 4-year manager. I mean, I remember games in the pavilion.
Hard to believe we won any games with Mark around.
He did a good job keeping those guys together. But the you know, games in the pavilion, games in the Palestra, my dad taking me to Big Five games. I mean, they're all great memories. I don't know if there's any one specific game that sticks out as a fan. As a coach, there are some that I remember being at LaSalle and being at Villanova. And it really what it is you just realize that if you are a part of a Big Five program, to play in this league of the Big Five and to get these 4 other games is really a blessing. Like, not everybody gets this. People play in great conferences, but not every game has what we have. So we get to play in a great conference, and then we get to go play in these 4 games. I mean, it's incredible. And then you throw in, like, you know, your non-conference games that are outside the Big Five, and it matters. But these ones right here are just special. It's the bottom line. So you don't hide from it. You just embrace it.
You too good to stick around for another segment?
Sure.
I'm not sure there's really a choice in the matter.
Yeah, you got it.
Because we're all here together.
That's right.
Cindy Griffin, Billy Lang, Matt Martucci. We're going to take a break. We're at J.D. McGillicuddy's. If you're out and about, try and get in. It's packed. The parking lot is full, but I'm sure they'll be happy to have you, and we're happy to have you as well on the Hawk Athletics Show. From Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment, you're listening to the St. Joseph Sports Network.
I'm Dick Vermeil, and I know all about the benefits of being with the right team. And the right team is the one that cares more about you. For more than 80 years, Independence Blue Cross has been helping people access the care they need, giving them the security that comes with a card that's recognized nationwide. That's Medicare that cares back. That's the benefit of Blue.
Call 844-564-5266. Independence Blue Cross offers products through its subsidiaries Independence Hospital Indemnity Plan, Keystone Health Plan East, and QCC Insurance Company. Independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Hey Hawk fans, hungry or thirsty after the game? Stop by J.D. McGillicuddy's Havertown or Upper Darby locations. J.D.'s is a proud sponsor of St. Joseph's Athletics. Their sports bar and food is one of a kind. Try their world-famous wings, burgers, steaks, or one of their famous Big Five sandwiches. They have it all. When the Hawks are on the road, catch the game there on one of their 10 flat-screen TVs. The Hawk will never die at J.D. McGillicuddy's Sports Pub. For more info, check out their website at jdmcgillicuddys.com. Go Hawks!
Welcome back to the Hawk Athletics Show. Joe Lunardi and the head Hawks, Cindy Griffin, Billy Lang. Cindy, some big picture women's basketball questions, starting with a Hawk alum who's a champion.
Yes.
Winning the WNBA title. Big deal for Natasha Cloud, for local women's basketball, and your program.
Totally.
What's your reaction to hearing that?
Yeah, I mean, Natasha, she was such a great player for us here at St. Joe's, and to see her develop into one of the best players in the WNBA is just unbelievable. And to be able to lead a team, she is the point guard. She was the leader of that WNBA championship team in the Washington Mystics. And you know, the great thing about Tosh is that she gives the credit to everybody else. You know, she's an assist kid, and she's learned how to score as well to make herself well-balanced. But to be able to get out there and win a championship, a world championship, in such a high-profile position is unbelievable. And the fact that she came from Delaware County and St. Joe's and Cardinal O'Hara and all those things is quite remarkable.
But aside from the platitudes, right, and that's significant, it's something that can be sold, promoted, and marketed as a pathway from St. Joseph's University to whatever your goals might be. Because I'm going to ask Billy the same question when we get back to him. Yeah. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and I think it helps in recruiting, because I think what happens is when we're in these recruiting battles and we're in living rooms of young women, you know, and they're getting lured by Power 5 conferences, and, you know, people are promising them this, promising them that, you know, and the bottom line is you can get where you want to go from a school like St. Joe's. We play such a great schedule. There's a lot of tradition here at St. Joe's, and you can be a complete player, but you can also be a complete person coming from St. Joe's.
And it's not like she's distant from the program. And you're not distant from her. I've seen you down at Mystics games and her former teammates and some of the current team. I mean, it's not a bad day out, right?
No, it's awesome. We have so much pride,
Plus, it's your off season.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, in fact, I think we rented one of those big SUVs, and our whole staff went down and saw her play. And she came to practice a couple times and ran up and down with our players, and it was quite incredible. In fact, I was texting with her the other night. She's in China right now, and she'll be coming back. She's going to be receiving the Sports Writers Award in January. And
is that public? It is now because the listenership is, mammoth
yes.
here on the St. Joseph Sports
Yes,
Network.
it is. So she'll be back in January for a little. I guess they have a little time off there in China, so she'll be here to accept that award.
Cindy, you have some of your staff and players here. You want to give anybody a shout out?
Yeah, we've got our staff down there. We got Kuster, we got Dunny, we got Sarah Fairbanks, we got Gabe, right? We got Fogues. Yes.
I'll tell you, we could suit up and
listen, 5-on-5. These guys, they can still light it up. They play in that bar league. Oh, Billy Luke's here too. Yes. And his wife Amy's here. Woo! Yes, let's go.
All right, we got maybe a little horse contest against the men's staff that's here. All right, Billy, lest we be accused of ignoring the elephant in the room. Right? Lost a couple games in a row here. I thought the Lafayette game this week was the first time to me, and I don't know you super well yet.
Right.
You looked angry to me. And still calm and composed.
Yeah.
But it was a different look than I saw in some of the other losses.
Right.
Am I overreacting? And how does a coach kind of channel that back into improvement, which is really the goal?
Well, I mean, I'm not judging whether you were overreacting or not. That's what your perception was. So I can tell you that we're competitive. And I love our guys. I mean, the reality is the team has not had one single day since school started to ever be together to train. The first time that all the healthy, eligible players were together was the Florida game. That's a fact. Between concussions and abscesses and cellulitis and ankles. So, we're in that game and we're fighting. And it was more, if I was angry, if that's the word you're choosing to use, that's okay.
Not angry at people.
No. It's because I have high expectations for the group. I believe in them. I believe that they're good. And I think they're more – it's tough because they're a brand – literally everything is brand new. And I believe that they're capable of being more connected at times. So you have to be transparent with them or else they're going to think you don't have high expectations. And that's the worst thing you can do to a young person. I'm a big believer in the Pygmalion effect. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So we just keep them up to that thing, and I was disappointed. And then when you go back and you watch the film, like Lafayette is playing great basketball right now.
Agreed.
Great basketball.
Yeah, if they're the eighth best team in the Patriot League, it's a really good
I've coached against Coach O'Hanlon 14 times. That was 15. So I know their team. They're playing really well. They made some incredibly hard shots, and I was disappointed that our guys, given everything that we've been through since the beginning of our journey together, should ever hang their heads on anything. We got to embrace that Hawk will never die spirit, and I thought just for a brief second that we didn't have it. So that I just voiced that to them in a nice, kind way.
I'll bet you did. All right, I think the Hawk faithful has a pretty good idea of how you want to play.
Right.
And we've seen it
right.
for not just flashes,
right.
long stretches
right.
of, crisp movement,
right.
not a lot of dribbling,
right.
kind of pass, next play, open shot, go.
Yeah.
So, number one, how would you assess where you are with that? And number two, how does not having Taylor Funk on the floor negatively impact that, particularly as a facilitator?
Yeah, well, I'll start with number two because that's the question I'm going to remember. You'll have to remind me about the first one. But, Taylor is a mover and a ball mover. He's a floor spacer. He was getting better at cutting, to the basket. He had a great layup in the Missouri State game. Ryan Daly or someone just threw him an amazing pass. So, obviously, that's an impact. And that's part of, what I learned in my experience with the 76ers was just how much the roster changed. So, you have to be nimble as a coach and a leader. And we're going to have to make some adjustments because first off, we're down a player, and then you're down a good player, and you're down a good player that like kind of made some of the things you did work a little bit. So we'll make those adjustments. So that's one. Two, we want to play with like a 0.5 mentality. Like I have half a second once the ball gets going to shoot it or drive it or move it. Now, that's hard, right? Because it's hard. It takes a lot, and there's been moments where our guys have done it, and then we're asking them to play defense down the other end and run the floor and do all those things. But that is how we want to do it. We're still going to use more pick and rolls. I mean, Ryan has impressed me so much in his ability to play in a pick and roll that we do want to set more of those. So sometimes it might not be a 0.5. It might be a 0.9. But what we don't want it to be is a 1.9 and one person at the top dribbling around while the shot clock evaporates on you and you end up with a tough shot. So the other night was actually a great opportunity for us because we saw a little bit of how Lafayette moves that ball and how exhausting it was for our guys. That was like kind of when we played the Spurs and the Warriors. Like guys were like shocked and like, no, that's good basketball. So we'll get there one day. I believe that.
Billy, the other guys are on scholarship too.
Right.
Right? And
like the other team?
Correct.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, got it.
And you know, let's face it, you spanked UConn. In
Right.
fact, you beat them twice, really.
Right.
You beat them. They came back, and then you had to win a game.
Right.
Win the game late
Yeah.
again.
Right.
And you've been there with Florida, and you beat a good Bradley team
Yeah.
in the season opener.
St. Francis is a good team.
Right, but people see now what
right.
you're trying to do.
Right.
What are they taking away, and then what's your counter to that?
Well, so you just got to. I would think every team in the country has to do that. It's like teams get
all the time.
Yeah, because
at
you have
every level.
More
at every
data,
level.
the more data you get, the better you have to be. You
got
have
good
to
assistant
beat scout and
coaches.
report
People do
defense.
their jobs. Like the other teams are working, the coaches are working. So for one, you have to do things crisper. I don't think it's like totally reinvent the wheel do it crisper. And every game is an educational purpose. So you sit back, you have to have humility as the coaching staff to say, okay, what do we have to tweak? If anything, it's usually something. And what do we have to hold to a higher standard? If you just hold to a higher standard and you don't do your job, that's probably not good leadership. If you go tweak everything, then you're overwhelming your team like nothing is solid. So finding that balance is good. And really, we're holding the ball long. Like the last two games, we have held the ball longer. So we have to move it.
You're
better.
doing or the other teams?
No, we're doing it. And then the
Okay.
other teams are chewing clock and they're doing things. And, like defense takes time too. Like the guys are trying to adjust to a new language and all that stuff takes a little bit of time. So, like, yeah, they're going to spare that. Like there have been games, the UConn game, I think you and I joked about this on the plane. Who would have ever thought that we would have outscored UConn in the paint?
Right.
Right? Remember? And there was another game, too, where you and I were looking at it where we're like, we just outscored this team in the paint. Well,
When you
that's
got runouts in that game,
and
too.
they take away the three, right? So
makes
it's like
life
if you
a lot
take away
easier.
the
Yes,
three,
for
it
sure.
leaves more room to drive. And we've got one of the best rim attackers, in my view, in the country in Ryan Daly. I mean, I watch a lot of basketball. This guy is an amazing rim attacker. So if they're going to do that, we're going to get shots at the paint.
I just want to give a shout out to his mom and dad who are sitting right there.
Wait, I didn't see them.
Brian and
Yeah,
Tracy.
I was gonna do it.
Daly.
You got
Oh,
great
I
moms.
thought you meant Billy's mom and
No,
dad.
yeah,
Oh, I'm
no,
going to get to
no.
Brian and
All right,
Tracy.
good.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get their moment.
Yeah.
Maybe more than one. Well, in Tracy's case, several. Brian, I'm not sure so much. Anyhow, so what do you think of this, radio show thing?
Well, Joe, come on.
'Cause we have to-
You do such a great job
Stop
facilitating and asking the right questions, and
Does the
putting
ball
us on the
move?
spot.
Does the ball move?
Oh, you're
It doesn't
great.
get stuck. It doesn't get stuck. All right. There's no
doesn't get
sticking here. Share the ball.
You're always undefeated on the radio show. See, that's what's great about it.
Awesome. Yep.
And what do you think?
One of the things I wanted to say.
You still liking this job there?
This is great. I love it every day. And, one of the things I wanted to say, just like the energy that I feel for, like when I hear the women's team in Hagen, these women have worked so hard since the day I got here. Not just the players collectively, then you see them individually, and the coaches are like, they're incredible. Like they're inspiring. So there's such a great basketball feel here. The
Huge
job,
win last night.
The
We
job
didn't
is
mention.
amazing.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you,
well,
thank you.
I was going to steal your thunder, but I didn't want to do
I
that.
I blew that one.
So
turnover,
yeah,
Lenardi.
to ask me that question, that's not going to change. Like we're excited. We are excited. I mean, it stinks to lose. No one wants to lose. We're competitive, but dust it off and let's change our sheets and keep it moving. That's the bottom line.
Get back in the ring.
Just keep it moving.
Get back in the ring, right?
He's Billy Lang. She's Cindy Griffin. 2 competitors and class acts that can't be beaten. Good luck on Saturday against the team that will not be mentioned.
Correct.
And we're going to come back and talk to a couple of your players on the other side. From Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment, this is the Hawk Radio Show on the St. Joseph Sports Network.
Whew, what a day. I'm home.
Hi, honey. Did you find your debit card?
Nope, but I disabled it with my Univest app.
Did you deposit my check?
Sure did. Love this Univest app.
And transfer money to Abby?
Done with my app.
Wow. You are awesome.
Handle all your banking remotely with Univest's mobile platform. Easy, convenient, and secure. Because life needs a little more wow. Live life, stay connected with Univest. Univest Bank and Trust Co. is member FDIC.
Life isn't made for pain. Life is made for living. You should be free to run, to jump, to bike, to hike, to work, to play. This is why the experts at Rothman Orthopedics are getting you back in the game. As the official orthopedic partner of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers, because big or small, epic or ordinary, you deserve to spend your days truly living. We are Rothman Orthopedics. This is living. RothmanOrtho.com.
Welcome back. We've never had bumper music like that before, Matt Martucci. I didn't know the St. Joseph Sports Network could afford an electric guitar. Anyhow, we are live at J.D. McGillicuddy's 33 Brookline Boulevard in scenic Havertown, Pennsylvania. And that's a home game for one of our 2 guests, Ryan Daly, latest and greatest St. Joseph's Hawk, and we'll talk about his family lineage and all that. But speaking of family lineage, the leading scorer for the women's team, Katie Jaycock, is with us. Reigning Big 5 Player of the Week, if I'm not mistaken. Yet, it was suggested in the Philadelphia Inquirer at the start of the season, and I'm sure I read this incorrectly, that you're not the best player in your own family. That's got to be wrong. It's got to be wrong. Katie, tell us about how you got to St. Joseph's, how you found it, and this little rivalry thing that might be going on Saturday.
Yeah, so I played for the Comets. So we traveled 2 hours for AAU, came out here in Philly, and then met up with Coach Griffin. She started recruiting me, and I just fell in love with the school. And yeah, Kelly goes to Villanova, so it's
Kelly's your sister.
Yes, my older sister. So last year was the first year we played each other. It was really weird, but it was fun.
It's not like you've never played basketball with a member of your family, right?
Yeah.
Like people forget that.
Yeah.
But it was the wrong outcome.
Yeah, so we did end up losing the game, but it's fine. We'll get them this year.
Yeah, what makes this year different?
So she's not playing this year.
Right.
She is injured. But I think we have a lot of talent this year, and I think we can really get them.
What's it like playing for Coach Griffin now when you look back on the recruitment process?
It's great. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but I had a really good connection with her, and all the other coaches are great, and we just have a really good time.
Now, you're a sophomore in basketball, a junior academically because of an injury your freshman year. How long, realistically, did it take you to feel back, if in fact you really feel back?
Yeah, I definitely do this year. I think halfway through last year was when I really got back to myself. Mentally, it was hard with the ACL. I mean, it's a big injury, and I've never been injured before, so it's definitely different for me. But definitely halfway through the year last year was when it really started.
But I mean, you were always around. I feel like at Barry Hall, you were the student athlete I saw walking by the most. I don't know why I think that still, and I'm not even there anymore, but you were the one that I saw, and I thought she must be really dedicated to her rehab and her training. So flip the switch to playing, right? Kind of a support role maybe last year, significant role now. Bigger challenge physically or psychologically?
I mean, physically, I have to produce more for my team. There's more pressure on me, I would say, because we have so many young players. But mentally, I just have to be a leader out there for my teammates and let them know like what to do and everything.
Now, I understand your classmate, Mary Sheen, is here.
Yes.
who I've known since, well, she wasn't a little girl for very long, but I've known her family for a long time. She strikes me as the kind of person who probably needs a lot of leadership. Is that fair?
I would say it's probably the complete opposite. No, Mary's a great leader. She's the captain of our team this year. I've known her for many years. We played Comets together. We were roommates together freshman year, but just a great person, helps everyone out on the court.
So everybody wants to be undefeated, right? You're not 8-0, you're 4-4.
Yeah.
But every day you go to work, every game you toss it up and compete. I often wonder for college kids, do you ever get tired?
No,
I mean, tired
never.
of the grind. Not obviously getting physically tired during the game is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're always tired. You always got stuff going on, but you push through. Adrenaline kicks in. During the games, I mean, I don't really feel the tiredness, but we're definitely tired on and off every day.
All right, now, Katie, you stick around here for a minute. I got a big job for you.
Okay.
I got a big job for you. Just hang on to that helmet. Hang on to that helmet. We're going to introduce Ryan Daly, 6'5" junior transfer from Delaware, leading the world in scoring. He's practically averaging a double-double. And one of the people on this show, and we won't say whom, said that he gets his shot blocked more than any player in America. Can you believe someone would actually say that? And I heard Ryan was going to try and block my shot tonight. So will you put the helmet on me?
Yes.
This way I'm protected? Excellent. All kidding aside, Ryan, that's a warrior, and you are one.
Thank you.
How have you found being active as opposed to sitting out, and how much fun are you having being a Hawk?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Obviously, my dad played here. My grandpa played here. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. You know, sitting out last year was tough. Obviously, the season didn't go as planned with the expectations. But, you know, it was a good learning year for me. I got some patience, got my grades up, which was good. So I couldn't wait to get out there November 5th, I think it was. So it's been really fun, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
Now, you grew up with crimson and gray in your veins.
Yeah.
Right? There's no discounting that.
Yes, sir.
So the opportunity to transfer to Hawk Hill had to be pretty special.
Yeah, you know, when I was transferring, I kind of knew that I wanted to be close to home. Obviously, St. Joe's has been in my blood since I was little. You know, I used to go to the games growing up.
Hopefully more blood from your mother's side, I would say, but you know, that's just one man's opinion.
But yeah, so yeah, my mom, everyone on my mom's side, St. Joe's. So when I was transferring, I kind of knew if St. Joe's offered me, I would take it pretty quickly, and I did. I mean, I wrapped up my recruitment before the Final Four. So
about a half hour.
Yeah, it was quick. Yeah, I talked to Coach Martelli like that night, and I knew I had interest in going there.
Now, your former squad, last time I looked, they were 9-0.
Yeah.
How do we get a little of that mojo?
Yeah, you know, I think Coach Martin did a good job getting some transfers in there. The kid from UAB, Darling's really good. But they're playing really well. I think they're experienced. I think we're all really new. They're in year 4. They've got their guys in there right now, and we're just. I mean, I didn't know basically 7 or 8 of my teammates 5 months ago. I didn't know Coach Lang. I didn't know anyone besides. The only one I knew was Toe, who's around still. Obviously, it's my cousin, but yeah, you know, we'll get there. You know, it's a process, obviously, but I think we're going to turn the corner pretty soon.
All right, Ryan. For those present company excluded, or included, I should say, who may have a difficult time appreciating or understanding your game, how would you describe
How would I describe my game? I don't know. I kind of play hard as I can every single play and just see where the ball bounces. You know, obviously you're not going to make shots every game, but I think the hustle plays, the rebounds, the deflections, all that kind of adds up, and I've been playing pretty well, so hopefully I can continue it.
Well, these are the facts. You get fouled as much as any player in the country. And, like it or not, you do get your shot blocked a ton as part of a plan to get to the rim, get to the line, and score points where you get about a third of your points. All that contact, does that wear a guy down?
Yeah, I end up on the floor quite a bit, obviously. But I think I initiate the contact sometimes, too. I'm not the most vertically gifted jumper, so I think I rely on my strength, which is so I try to put people through the rim, and sometimes I end up getting blocked or fouled, and then I usually end up on the floor. So,
but, it's coming, right?
Yeah, I know when I get by the initial the defender that they're probably going to send a few guys my way. So I'm just trying to adjust that, and I think we're doing a good job getting off 2 feet more. I think early in the season I was going off 1 foot, and that was playing to their strength a little more because they're longer and athletic. But I think I've been adjusting pretty well, and I'm going to keep trying to make adjustments.
And one of those adjustments is finding other guys, right? Not just leading scorer, leading rebounder, but leading assist maker as well for this team. Does that go all the way back to high school? I saw you a couple times, and I was just watching you score.
Yeah, high school, my best friend's name's Josh Sharkey. I think he's like 2nd or 3rd in the country in assists right now. So my job was to just score. So it was a little easier. And then, like, my first 2 years at Delaware, we had a point guard who had started 2 years before, and then a freshman point guard who came in. And then, this year kind of with the departures of Jared and Fresh, obviously, there was opportunity there for someone to handle the ball and get their teammates involved. And I think I've done a pretty good job. Obviously, I'm not perfect. With it, but I'm learning new, and I'm trying to get everyone involved and get people to make some open shots because we have some good shooters on our team.
Ryan, I'm guessing maybe you've heard about St. Joe Villanova a little bit growing up?
Yeah, obviously. I've literally, there's a ball in my house that says my grandpa's name was Bo. Bo's bigger than the Holy War. So I've seen that since I was 4 years old, since we moved in that house.
Best coaching performance I ever saw in the Holy War.
Him?
1982, 84-64. Drew up a dunk off the opening tap to Bob Lejeski.
Yeah.
Hawks never looked back.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You looking forward to Saturday?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I haven't obviously been a part of a Big 5 game yet. I grew up on the Big 5, went to Delaware first, so I didn't get to experience it my first 2 years in college, but I'm really excited to get out there.
Katie, any advice you'd give them for playing in city games?
Just play the way you know how to play. You're doing really well out there.
Thank you, Katie.
How would you describe Ryan's game?
He's a strong player. When you watch him, he can take the kids that are shorter than him. He facilitates really well, and I think he just uses his body well on the court.
Well, we want to wish you both all the luck in the world on Saturday, and thank everyone here at McGillicuddy's for coming out tonight. It has been literally the greatest show we've ever had. The parking lot was full. I'm around the corner. I just have one more thing that needs to come up, and I'm going to put this on Rob Sullivan, who I guess now is our executive producer. Yeah, I think it is. So, and there are not many people who probably still say it that way. But, in a former life, I used to keep track of the team's record based upon the anthem singer. Okay? And Jeff Martin, who comes to every show and is scratching his eyebrow with a finger that won't be named, he's not had a good stretch of anthem singings and outcomes. So I would like to suggest that maybe that be looked at in the overall enhancement of the program. Jeff, any words? Nope, he's got no microphone. This is why this hosting thing's a beautiful thing. Anyhow, Ryan Daly, Katie Jaycock, Mary Sheehan, all our coaches, Billy Lang, Cindy Griffin, Steph, we could name it. Is there anybody that hasn't been named would like to introduce themselves? Amanda, Jasmine, Joe, no, we'll be back after the new year. We don't have a date. Do we have a date? But it'll be after the new year, and we'll have a lot more memories and some victories to talk about, and maybe even a successful national anthem from Jeff Martin. For Matt Martucci, all the guys at Van Wagner, Rob Sullivan, and our student athletes, this is Joe Lenardi wishing you good night and in advance a very happy holiday season. Let's go Hawks. It's the Hawk Radio Show from Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment on the St. Joseph's Sports Network.
Today's St. Joseph's Sports Network broadcast has been brought to you by Independence Blue Cross, Live fearless with the security of blue. Independence Blue Cross. Enroll today. Learn more at ibx.com. Lincoln All Medical Center, the best place to rebound from injury or illness. The Rothman Institute. Think Rothman first. And J.D. McGillicuddy's, a perfect place to unwind after a long day, and your home of the Hawk Talk radio show. Come in today and let our friendly staff welcome you in and treat you as one of our own.
Hey Hawk fans, hungry or thirsty after the game? Stop by J.D. McGillicuddy's Havertown or Upper Darby locations. J.D.'s is a proud sponsor of St. Joseph's Athletics. Their sports bar and food is one of a kind. Try their world-famous wings, burgers, steaks, or one of their famous Big Five sandwiches. They have it all. When the Hawks are on the road, catch the game there on one of their 10 flat-screen TVs. The Hawk will never die at J.D. McGillicuddy's Sports Pub. For more info, check out their website at jdmcgillicuddy's.com. Go Hawks!
Life isn't made for pain. Life is made for living. You should be free to run, to jump, to bike, to hike, to work, to play. This is why the experts at Rothman Orthopedics are getting you back in the game. As the official orthopedic partner of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers, because big or small, epic or ordinary, you deserve to spend your days truly living. We are Rothman Orthopedics. This is living. RothmanOrtho.com.